Hello, 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 dear ones. This is Friday, the 2nd of May. Um, I don't know what significance it may have as far as a worldwide calendar, but in my world, it's a very special day because someone very special to me was born on this day. So I'm dedicating this to him. Um, Welcome, one and all. It is Friday, and it seems like it was just Monday. And I know many of us are feeling that. I have experienced so many friends from, like, what day is it today? Where are we? As far as timing, we're all experiencing just this jumble and wide spectrum of time, both linear and what can be referred to as nonlinear, and timing and time in this dimension blending with time from other space times. So it's a very interesting time to be alive and to be here. Um, there are many energetics, many very powerful energetics, very universal and interuniversal energetics just streaming constantly into this dimension, in and through events, people, art forms, just a wide range. Not that there wasn't always, but these are such these energetics have such potential for very, very powerful um, movement, yes, but also very, very powerful evolution for sure. Um, on a soul level, it's allowing for those what I refer to as souls that are here working on a mastery project, to achieve, accomplish. None of those words are would be a preference in regard to this, but for our limited English language and brain, they work. So those on a mastery soul project to be able to complete, accomplish, achieve, uh, do, work with, work at this project. And that's saying a big deal because these all souls that are here are big ass souls. Period. End of story. Everyone, everyone, everyone in all their forms, in all of their living states, in all of their work, family, relationships, everyone on this planet is a big ass soul to be here at this point in time and going through this incredible process that is unlike anything that's ever been done in the universe before. And those of you who have listened to any of these or attended my workshops, etc., have heard me speak about this. You can probably find it in some of the other videos on YouTube on A Healer's Universe channel. But take that in and really feel what an incredible soul you are to be here at this point in time and to be going through this. And if you are a spiritual seeker, which you probably are if you're listening to this, in some form, you are working your stuff, then, that's even playing the game at a much higher level. And it is a game. It is an experience. There's nothing broken. There's nothing wrong. You can do no wrong. This is an utterly free will universe, and you are free to do whatever you want. Every soul is. Those that we deem as destructors or harm causers or pain inflictors, all of which is true, are here doing what they want to do as a soul, and we as souls in our choices have requested this for a potential adventure exploration into flavors of human life, human existence, and all as part of that extremely wide spectrum of things that one can experience on this planet in this particular physical body. And I say you're a big ass soul to be here at this time because this is a really high risk game. We can we can be dismembered or dead in a heartbeat from countless numbers of things. Um, Dead, which doesn't end our soul's existence, but which can end this physical existence. So it's a very high risk game, even in that. So the level and extent to which you decide to play the game depends on how much you're willing to explore and get to know thyself and get to have oneself and have the sovereignty and the, hesitate to use the word ownership, but to own oneself, to be totally you in your own skin and comfortable with that, loving that, accepting that. Um, yes, I was just talking to someone this morning and remembering what one of my clients, after going through this very, very deep work that I do one on one with people, she had, done the full course. And she came to be, she described herself as being her own best friend, and that she just loves her own company, loves knowing about herself, being with herself, spending time with herself, watching herself, exploring herself, is just, one could say in one form, in love with herself. But I think that sense of having your own best friend is very significant. I have other clients who have done this process and have come through, and they adore themselves. They feel the preciousness of themselves, and this is in a completely unselfish way. It's just they've done the depth of work to be able to feel the breadth and width of who they really are, humanly and beyond, humanly and from other existences, and humanly and as part of the one. So, if you are truly, if you truly feel that you are here and you are working a mastery project, this is a very, very different process that I work with clients. It's a proprietary process that is an accumulation and an aggregation of many, many, many different disciplines, traditions, formal training, informal training, ancient training, many, many things, so that not only can you be met in who you are and come to know what you are, but as well, the opening and welcoming of so many different energetics allows for what the focal point of everything I do, everything I teach, is to assist in you and your way, you doing this life your way, and transmuting the things that are not you, that are not, that are distortions of you, so that you can be you. There is no prescribed way. It is not about you learning how I do anything. It is a means and a method for deepest communication and connection and collaboration and cooperation and communing with your body, your energy field, your wider self, which is your soul self, because as you move out of this physical, you tap into wider and wider yous, so that you, and as well as your wider self and your body and your energy field and your emotional body, all of which speak a very different language than linear English or whatever language you speak. This is a very symbolic, metaphoric language that works in and through the unconscious and subconscious and beyond conscious, and allows for you to receive information, communicate with, speak to, hear from these other parts of you that you had to disconnect and shut down from as a young little being, because that information that is true to you and coming through to you from your soul, from your essence, your deepest beyond human beingness, is in direct conflict with what you are experiencing as a child, and therefore you must shut it down, you must disconnect from it, you must distrust it, all of the things that could happen, because your little system cannot live with the split and disparate nature of what your inner being is saying and what you're experiencing in the outside world. Your little world being your family initially, and the influx of society, history, all kinds of things that go within that, and the lineage patterns that are of that particular family lineage, along with many other things. So we shut these means of communication to these deeper parts of us, these truer parts of us, these our true nature, our essence, our soul. And the seeking that I mentioned earlier, the exploration, that's the map you left yourself, those wounds, those patterns, so that as you are exploring them as an adult and reaching deeper and deeper depths into the emotional experience of how those patterns got fixated in your system, and now as an adult you have the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual capacity to experience once again those deeper emotions and transmute them, so that then you are receiving the soul aspect, the soul reason you designed those methods of exploration of self. And they are directly interfacing with this evolutionary process. So we all benefit from your self-exploration, self-discovery, self-reclaiming, self-becoming, self-remembering. And by remember, that's like taking members or parts of you and reclaiming them, remembering them, reincorporating them into you because you've been distanced from them, which automatically allows you to be here in a completely different way. Your reality changes. You are no longer experiencing the world and who you are and how it responds to you based on those patterns / woundings, purposeful map. And instead, you are living this world from your true nature, from your essence self, from your divine self, and receiving information from your wider self, your soul self, the divine beings and helpers that accompany you, that you chose to ask to be a part of your project and appear at any point in time. Some stay with you from the get-go. Some appear, work with you and your needs because they have a particular expertise, and then they may go away. This is why the constant change of energetics every single day, every single certainly when I'm doing these talks, it's kind of an accumulation of a lot of the energetics from this week, not only that I've experienced, that clients have experienced, the collective consciousness theme that I've referred to so many times, that we're all in our own way and at our own levels exploring a particular theme. Used to last for a couple weeks. Now, as time is changing, it is speeding up, so it's almost a daily, okay, here's today's theme, here's the next day's theme, because it's showing up on the national stage, on the world stage, in very blatant experiential forms. But that same core underlying theme that is being represented by people, visible leaders, whatever's, public figures, but it is the same piece that we have the opportunity to explore for that period of time, because it is present, because it is catalyzing, because it is triggering, because it is poking, giving you the opportunity to explore your personal form, experience, wounding of that aspect of humanity, whether as recipient or perpetrator. And as you explore, that's why this work is really at the root of the root, because we can all do exploration on our own, discovery. There's great tools out there, wonderful methods of getting to know oneself at certain levels. But beyond that, your system will not allow you to go into those deeper levels of you alone. For various reasons, spiritual reasons, absolutely, but simply human psycho-emotional reasons. There is a default switch, there is a means by which your wiser system will not let you go into those deep, deep places alone, because you could get lost, you could get disconnected. There's many things that can occur. And so that's why this process, and as a shamaness, and as an alchemist, and as a therapist, and as a healer, and as all the things, witch, etc., that I have been and incorporate in this lifetime. So there is a facility, no matter where you source from, no matter where you most recently came from before entering into human form, we can go. There are very few hells in this universe I have not encountered, and so your personal hells are very safe through this method, and my having you by the hand and absolutely under no circumstances ever letting go. We walk through those hells. You retrieve both the human piece of you, and as I said, through that particular, let's call it an issue, you also are able to reincorporate, reclaim the soul aspect of you that is embedded within that you chose to be able to explore, and then reincorporate that soul aspect of you to live in and through your human existence here, with access thereby to other yous from other existences, and being able to channel them in and utilize them to create your own life that you desire, which will automatically change everything around you, every aspect of everything that you touch in any way, which changes the world, which evolves the world. That all is true. But further, those other existences of you that you are channeling in and utilizing very consciously on a regular basis through your daily life, it interfaces. This is where the interface with this evolutionary process occurs. And so then the side effects of you becoming more you and living more you, presencing more you, evolves this entire project. Yes, I did say that. It's as if in this huge tapestry, you are able to untangle, unravel a section of the tapestry and reweave it in the way that you desire, and therefore it changes the threads in the entire tapestry. I have the great good fortune of living near Philadelphia, and so therefore have access to the magnificent art museum. And in the Grand Hall, which is huge, there are tapestries the size of, well, let me see, if I were to, some of them are probably 40 plus feet wide and 20, 30, 40 feet high, that were made in 13th, 14th, 15th century. It is mind-boggling, the amount of threads and the entire scene that goes in and through these tapestries. It's very difficult for me personally when I stand before them to fathom how anything like that could be made, particularly back then. So it's beautiful, it's awesome, it's an incredible experience. If you ever get the chance, I encourage you to do so. If there's some near you, I'll try to take a picture and send or post it here. But I want you to know that you are so much a part of this huge tapestry that we are reweaving in a new image, a new earth image. And you are a significant weaver. If you are certainly in any way listening to this and are in the process of becoming and exploring and discovering. And it would be a great honor and privilege to walk with you should you choose to work one-on-one with me. It's a very accelerated process, which is what we're experiencing all right now. Extreme acceleration of time and events, which is the underlying energetics we're going to dive into this today, among other things. And interestingly, I did not make this connection until just now. The whole tradition of weaving that is in every country. Every country has their own method, form of weaving, have done since, any sort of thread was or yarn was discovered, or material in any way. And the holding of tradition and the timelessness of these traditional weaving patterns, weaving methods, messages, representations in these weavings of those cultures, and how each of them, as beautiful and unique as they are, have this underlying oneness of every culture wove. Every culture had this as an art form, as a significant necessity in one's life. And this, this oneness that many of these beautiful weavings from the most ancient times, and even to this day in many countries, have the symbolism of their identity, symbolism of that which is important in them. I'm looking around because there are so many in my healing space here, and I had a friend visiting, and she was struck by several of them, and they're from many different countries. One that I'm looking at straight ahead is from Guatemala. There's another one over there from Madeira. There's Panama, Mexico, Ecuador, Peru, just countless around this space, because that is of great significance to a culture and the representation of. And one of the, I don't know if I brought it over. Yes, I did. One of the cards that came up today is a very fascinating one, trying to get it in the camera for you to see. The name is Talisman, and if you look very significantly, she's holding something in her hand and another little creature on her arm. And she is, barely wrapped in some sort of material, woven material. And so these weavings are talisman. They hold energy, they hold the culture, they hold identity, they hold memory, they hold history, they hold timelessness, in the sense that those symbols were and continue to be parts of that culture. So those are here in our energetic today. Your significance, your timelessness, and your being bound by the linear time frame of this particular dimension. We all are. And another, what struck me was timing also today. And it's a wondrous thing to be able to explore not just time and all its many forms outside of this dimension, but in that process of exploration, discovery, incorporating these parts of you, remembering, bringing other members of you, other yous into you, that you are able to know and feel and find. You don't even have to find it when you're that connected to yourself. Your timing in relation to the timing of what's going on in the world, your timing in relation to others' timing and taking all and both into account, your timing and the divine's timing, your timing and the timing of our evolution, which, P.S., is the fastest that has ever occurred, with this much evolution taking place in this insanely short period of time, which is why everything is coming at us hot and heavy, is because this isn't an evolutionary process spread out over the next couple hundred years. It's happening in less than a generation, half a generation. My estimate of the time frame has sped up, has accelerated incredibly. And so that demands, I shouldn't say demands, that calls for within us, or our within calls for deeper, more accelerated, faster, wider transfiguration, transmutation of us. Transmutation, transfiguration. Transformation is a little slow compared to the speed at which things are being catalyzed right now. So again, kind of our expectations of time and how we transform and process and incorporate things or integrate things, yeah, no, that's all happening much, much faster than you probably would feel comfortable. But that's where we are. So also, the timing of the earth, the timing of the seasons and the cycles and the rhythms of earth, and how we were so intimately, intricately interacting with, interrelating with, and interdependent with the earth's timing and seasons and planting and growth, etc., and how very disconnected from that timing we have become, and are being confined by or bound by the timing of society, clocks, expectations, etc., etc. The reason I'm giggling is because if any of you have ever seen the movie Wonder Woman, the first one, the original one, the only one, this is the first time she's meeting a man, and she asks, "What's that?" And he says, "It's a watch." And he explains what a watch does and why that one's significant to him. And Wonder Woman cocks her head and she says, "You let that little thing tell you what to do?" And it's just a short exchange, but very, very powerful. Yes, we let those little things tell us what to do and when to do it. And that is oftentimes very contrary to what our internal timing and our inner knowing, inner desires would like to do. So all of this is in the mix today, and there is a lot of adjustment of time. When I posted about today's event, I am very, very grateful to Facebook. I know everybody has issues, and I have issues, and la 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 with it. However, this new feature of making a statement and allowing their AI to create an image for me, fully, clearly stating this is an AI image, I am absolutely, that's a necessity for me. But they are truly beautiful. And AI is another subject we'll talk about another day. But anything on this planet, anything, and beyond, of course, can be for benefit or for ill. So you get to decide. You get to decide how anything is going to be in relationship with you, for ill or for benefit. That's one of the most wondrous things about this Earth project, is that you get to decide. But when we are bound by, when we are sitting in our limitations and our by and through our patterning and many other things, we feel choiceless, or we feel we have little choice, or we feel we have an either or choice, or we don't even fathom or comprehend or can imagine certain choices until and unless you know thyself, have thyself, this ownership, this sovereignty, this presencing of yourself in such a way that you come to realize and know, and hopefully, certainly my clients, by going through this process, have come to be able to have constant choice. Constant choice. And the realization, the embodied realization that you get to choose anything and everything. There is no one, no thing deciding or choosing for you. Even though you may have the experience thereof, because you chose to have the exploration, to be able to transmute it and then become from that. But you get to decide. Physics, other scientific disciplines of all forms are coming to say in one way or another that when and as we know more about us, know more about the way things work, interact with, are in communication, connection, communion, and collaboration with any and every of those aspects on this planet, then we are co-creating, yes, and we are making our choice not just known, but we are putting it into the mix of this reality, and thereby designing the reality in the way that most aligns with our deepest soul selves and our human selves, and thereby we are redesigning this reality. So again, I would be utterly honored and privileged to walk with you one-on-one if you so choose. There is more about this throughout the 100 and something videos that I have on YouTube, A Healer's Universe channel. My website has not been updated, but there are tons and tons of blogs. You can put in the search on the recent or suggested blogs. You can put a word in, you can put a concept in, and it should bring something up throughout the past, 15 years or more of blogs that are there. And this isn't about me or my work, but it is about a much wider perspective. And as we are experiencing what's going on in the world right now, it can come to feel very, very narrow, very, very limiting, very, very confining, and that's its purpose, and it will become more so. Living in a controlled environment, controlled by a very few, is what we've been experiencing throughout time. This is the opportunity to end that, to transmute it so much that it no longer is a part of our reality or existence. That doesn't mean we're moving to nirvana. We're in that transcending and coming out into all this just beautiful, yummy la-la. What it does mean, however, is that those most crude, most destructive, most painful, most animalistic, primitive aspects of human nature will be woven out of the tapestry and rewoven into the potential for a much more connected, communicative, cooperative, collaborative community, both in the local, our families, our towns, our counties, our states, eventually our nation and other nations. And in that same connection, communication, collaboration, cooperation, and communing with the earth and her many aspects, as well as nature, the weather, everything that makes up this amazing planet. When we are in connection, communication, collaboration, cooperation, and communion/community with her, with others, everyone benefit. Everything, everywhere, everyone, every way benefits. You benefit. So yes, we are in the midst of hell, but it is a divine hell. Just as our own individual hells are divine hells as a means of exploration, discovery of countless worlds and dimensions and realms and kingdoms and aspects of this vast universe alone, which is only one tiny small part of the all. But you've chosen to explore this universe and more expertly and more intensely and more concentratedly on this particular planet at this particular time, because it's the game board. It is the game board of the universe. Everything and anything is here from this entire universe. In one way or another, in one form or another, through access of locations, objects, cultural, all kinds of things, not to mention the other worlds, realms, kingdoms, dimensions, experiences that you hold within you as a soul in all of your adventures concurrently. Because remember, beyond this dimension, there is not necessarily linear time. As a matter of fact, in all the places that I've explored, there are many forms of time, no time, in between time, many things. So you are here with all of that. You are all of that and more. So in deep gratitude, honor, and love for your presence on this planet. That's why I say that to close out all of my videos that I've done over the years. It is truly that. So with that, we have the weavers, we have talisman that represent information encoded in that, whether it's a woven piece, whether it's an object, whether it's a piece of art, whether it's a stick, whether it's a stone. Everything holds information and energy. And when you have more of you, you're able to interact, be in tune with, get information from everything and anything around you in a constant ticker tape of assistance, companionship, applause, sense of humor that's yours. That's what's reflected back to you from and through all of these things. So, yay you. And one of those sources of wisdom that you may or may, if you've worked with me, you know, that are part and parcel of everything that I do are the Young Living essential oils. And if you can see a camera, this is how they sit and travel from the office to my home upstairs. And we will have a message from them right now. I did not ask for one previously, so we have right here and now. And remember that even though the liquid is not going on you, the actual physical, the energetic is still going to you and to your system and to your body. So this particular, the first oil is rose. And these are Young Living oils. They're the purest that I've encountered, and the only thing that I will allow on my body, my clients, my cat, my friends, my family, etc. Because of that respect and communication and connection and collaboration and cooperation and communing with not only the plant, but the land, all of the creepy crawlies that go into that, the soil, the microbes in the soil, the timing of the earth. Just so much is taken into the process of making these particular oils. This is why I will only use these, because from one end of the spectrum to the other, the respect, the honor, the connection, as I said, the being with plant, earth, sky, wind, rain, etc., is in all of these, allowing the wisdom of these divine beings, plants, trees, flowers, to be here and very live, very real, very present, very vocal, and very wanting to connect and communicate and collaborate and cooperate with you. The people that I introduce them to, my clients, when they do decide to play with them, the intuition, the ability for communication, the getting to know who you are is so quick and so easy. This is why I encourage everyone, please reach out. I will ask them for a direct read if you want. I will connect you up so that you can begin to play with them yourself. I've never done this before, but I am truly encouraging people to begin to use and have these particular oils. As I said, why these? Because as we're going through this intensity, they have a way of assisting, supporting, communicating, gifting, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic assistance, healing, support, information, all levels of those, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and energetic, simultaneously. So they're very, 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 can be very intimate to you and insanely helpful. So I'm sorry I don't get to smell all of these because there's so many. So rose would be going on your third chakra, which is right where your ribs come together. There's a round bone there. If you can feel it, if you don't, it's right where underneath the ribs they come together and you can feel your tissue. That's where your diaphragm is. That's where your third chakra is. And what they're saying with this is that as you access and tap into the highest level of your own sense of yourself, the purest connection to yourself, that's both little s and big S, again, I have no idea. My eyes are closed. They were open for that for some reason, but it doesn't make any difference because I know what it feels like. This one would be going on your throat, and this is Eucalyptus radiata. And this, what they're saying is that as you tap into, as you feel that highest frequency of the sense of yourself, it will enable you to clearly radiate your truth. Whether that's speaking it, whether it's receiving some truth, but allowing you to radiate that truth clearly. The next oil is going on the heart chakra, and that is okay, come on out. Some of these are a little bit challenging to get out. The oil going on there, which is interesting, I wouldn't have expected, is lemon. And yet the characteristics of this oil, not physically, but on a more energetic, spiritual basis, is that of brilliance, is that of radiating, is that of emitting, is that of shining. So as you are experiencing living from that highest frequency of this sense of yourself and allowing your truth to clearly radiate outward, it enables your deep heart, not your human heart, not your human emotional heart necessarily, but your deep heart. All of those are through that, but allowing your heart to radiate, shine, emit. So that this is a strong, this is a really interesting oil. This is called geranium bourbon, and it's about blending that strong, deep, musky male with the delicate, flowery, feminine. So allowing both aspects of you to, this is going on your innate, which is about 3 fingers below that bone, below where your ribs come together, right there. And allowing you to receive information from both aspects of you, blending it into, thereby, like through that, your choices, your actions. Anchoring into a very how can I say this, free spirity, free nature spirity way. Best I can come up with. This oil is spearmint, and it's very much about the little nature sprite beings that care for and oversee plants and little growths. Has very much a magical frequency to it. So allowing you to anchor into that free nature spirity magic. Any more? One last one. So that as you walk your path of growth, or assisting you as you walk your path of growth. This is an oil blend called Grow. Lovely message. And so we're going to drop in very quickly, very deeply. All of the energetics are here. We have been transmitting them. So the ancients say, I'm speaking for and on behalf of them. The ancients are an intergalactic panel council of beings that assist in and oversee a lot of most of the aspects of our evolution. And they've been with me, and I've been channeling them for many, many years, a couple of decades. And so again, there is the presencing of time, timing, accelerated time, your time, your timing rather, my timing, watch timing, the divine's timing, evolution's timing, the earth timing, nature's timing, beautiful moments and places and experiences we have as humans where time can stretch, both in a wonderful way and a not so wonderful way, being stuck in time, experiencing in a moment a timelessness, for a wide variety of reasons, including the mass acceleration of timing in this evolutionary process we're in, the kind of loosening or losing of time. Maybe showing up as dates, days, months are not as fixed and firm. Everyone I know is like, what day is today? Where are we? That's purposeful. Part of this evolutionary process to loose us from the confinements of watch time, artificially induced business time, production and materialism time, disconnecting us from our time, our timing, seasons, the cycles, the rhythms of the earth, of us, of the seasons. This is what is natural to your systems. The artificially induced timing as a means of control oppression, dominance. This too will break apart and must go. You feel it going. The discord, the rebellion of being confined by 9 to 5 and market time. Allow yourselves to sink down and in. Your timing, your internal timing, even though you may not know what, how that is, feels. For this is not a thing of the brain. Your own body's timing. Setting your own times. All this and more is the reweaving of that tapestry that Andrea spoke of. With your unique, particular, desired threads. So that it all is a beautiful image through that tapestry of this world. From each unique individual. For worry not. There is a way for all those threads to weave in and through. For they always have been and always will be for you. You, as a free soul, get to choose your thread. And it is up to the combination, the blending, the offering, the choosing of all those participants in this project, in this universe, that allows it to come to be woven together. And so we honor and bow to you for being in the trenches, so to speak. For it is a very honored position to have chosen to be in the physical, experiencing this wide, wide, wide range, spectrum as a human. From ecstasy to horror. Yes. Deep honor to all those physically in form on this planet. Feel. Ask and allow your energy field to open up and receive this transmission of such profound honor and gratitude. Feel that for yourself, toward yourself, as yourself. And as always, I invite you to honor and recognize your timing. You are very welcome to stay in this energetic. I'm going to be here for a couple more minutes. But to really stay in this energetic, beautiful configuration, and to know this will be posted definitely on YouTube, on A Healer's Universe channel, that you can drop in and receive, revisit, re-experience the energetic transmissions, and potentially allow yourself to experience even deeper and deeper levels of your own time and timing. Which is why at the end of a transmission, I always encourage everyone to feel and follow your own timing. So often people say, now move your fingers at God. This is about your timing. It may happen in a minute, it may happen in a few minutes, it may be more of a winding, swirling back, it may be just a surfacing coming back, it may be similar to as you're waking up in the morning or from a nap. Your way is your way. So you're welcome to stay in this. You're welcome to follow your timing back to this more physical reality. And please feel free to listen to this energetic transmission part again and again and again, and or drop back in on your own through these energetics, because it's not just what I, Andrea, brought and all of the other beings. It's your companions, helpers, etc. that you bring when you are listening, feeling. So all of that is incorporated here. And so much more. All of those that were present this week, people publicly, privately, we're all in this. all in this. Great game. And until next time, dear ones, it is with the deepest of honor, gratitude, and love for your presence here on this planet at this time that I bid you adieu.